I stopped looking at the test. Because I couldn't handle it anymore, a story of silent strength. There comes a point in some journeys where the pain doesn't come loudly anymore. It doesn't crash in like a storm or break you all at once. Instead it settles quietly into your life, becoming something you carry without even realizing it, something that shows up in small moments, in silence, in the way you hesitate before opening a message, in the way your heart sinks before you even see the result. And on a quiet morning, as the soft light crept through the curtains, Elena stood in her bathroom holding a pregnancy test she hadn't even looked at yet, her hand slightly shaking, her breath slow, and for the first time in years, she made a decision she never thought she would make. She placed the test face down on the counter and walked away. Not because she didn't care. Not because she had given up. But because she couldn't handle another moment of disappointment. For nearly 4 years, Elena had been trying to get pregnant, and in those 4 years, she had taken more tests than she could count, each one carrying the same cycle of emotions: hope, fear, anticipation, and then silence. And over time, those moments began to change her, not in a way that people could see, but in a way she felt deeply, quietly, constantly, until one day, she realized she wasn't just tired of the result, she was tired of the feeling that came with it. At the beginning, everything had felt different. There was excitement, curiosity, even joy. She and her partner would talk about the future, imagine what their child would be like, laugh about names and little details, and every month felt like a step closer to that dream. But as time passed and nothing happened, that excitement slowly faded, replaced by something heavier, something harder to carry, because every month became a reminder, not just of what hadn't happened, but of how long they had been waiting. She did everything she thought she should do, everything she believed would help. She tracked her cycle carefully, paid attention to every detail, followed advice, made changes, stayed consistent, and yet, nothing seemed to change. And the hardest part wasn't just the waiting, it was the uncertainty, the not knowing why, the feeling of doing everything right but getting no result, and slowly, that feeling began to affect how she saw herself. She started questioning things she had never questioned before: her body, her timing, her choices. She wondered if she had missed something, if she had done something wrong, if there was something she didn't understand. And those questions stayed with her, not just in the big moments, but in the quiet ones, in the moments where she was alone with her thoughts, where the silence felt louder than anything else. There were moments that stayed with her, moments that seemed small but felt significant, like the time she heard someone say, "It happens when you stop trying," and felt a mix of frustration and sadness, because she didn't know how to stop caring about something that meant so much to her, or the times she avoided certain conversations because she didn't have the energy to explain, or the nights she lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if things would ever be different. And then came the morning when she didn't look at the test. That moment wasn't about giving up. It was about protecting herself. Protecting her heart. Because she had reached a point where the constant cycle of hope and disappointment was too much to carry the same way she had been carrying it. That day, something shifted, not outside, not immediately, but inside her, and for the first time, she allowed herself to step back, not from her dream, but from the pressure she had been putting on herself. She stopped checking constantly. Stopped overthinking every detail. Stopped trying to control every outcome. Not because she didn't care, but because she needed space. And that space changed something. At first, it felt strange, even uncomfortable, because she was so used to being in control, to doing something, to moving forward. But slowly, she began to feel something she hadn't felt in a long time, a sense of calm, not complete, not constant, but enough to remind her that she could still breathe. She started focusing on herself in a different way, not as someone trying to fix a problem, but as someone who needed care. She created moments of quiet, moments where she wasn't thinking about what hadn't happened, moments where she allowed herself to just be, and in those moments, she began to reconnect with parts of herself she had forgotten. She also changed the way she spoke to herself. She stopped saying, "I can't handle this," and started saying, "I'm doing my best." She stopped seeing herself as someone who was failing, and started seeing herself as someone who was trying, and that shift, small as it seemed, began to change how she felt. Weeks passed, then months, and while nothing had changed on the outside yet, everything inside her was different. She felt lighter, more grounded, more present. She wasn't carrying the same weight. She had found a way to be in her journey without being consumed by it. And then one morning, quietly, without expectation, something shifted. Her body felt different, calm, steady. And when she realized her period hadn't come, she paused, not with fear, not with urgency, but with a quiet awareness. She gave herself time, allowed herself to sit with the moment, and after a few days, she picked up a test again. This time, she looked. Her hands steady. Her breath calm. And as she saw the result, her heart seemed to stop, because this time, the answer was different. This time, there were 2 lines, soft but clear, and in that moment, everything she had carried for years seemed to come together, and she cried, not just because she was pregnant, but because she had made it through everything it took to get there. Elena's story is not about avoiding the pain, it is about learning how to carry it differently. It is about understanding that sometimes, stepping back is not weakness, it is strength, and that giving yourself space does not mean giving up, it means allowing yourself to breathe. If you are on this journey, if you have ever felt like you couldn't handle another moment of disappointment, please know this: you are not alone, your feelings are valid, and it is okay to protect your heart, it is okay to take a step back, it is okay to care for yourself in ways you may not have before. Because sometimes, the shift doesn't come from doing more. It comes from allowing more. Allowing space. Allowing rest. Allowing yourself to simply be. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more real and supportive fertility content, and share your thoughts in the comments, because your story matters, your voice matters, and you are not alone in this journey. And always remember, even when you feel like you can't look anymore, even when the silence feels heavy, something is still unfolding. And your story is still being written.